Appreciate you. Well, since she brought up the government, I'm going to have to ask one of our esteemed senators to come up and help explain. Can you explain the government in about 5 minutes? We are so blessed to have this guest with us, Senator John Albers. He has been an advocate for special needs families, and I even know personally that he has helped people get this waiver, which is so elusive. So, without further ado, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Stacy. Well, I'll tell you, Stacy, if you don't make it to heaven, none of us stand a chance. Wow, that is fantastic. Stories like this are very challenging, and we all can do better. Sometimes it's going to be government, sometimes it's going to be our faith-based community, it's going to be organizations like Special Needs Respite. We need each one of these to work together. I'll tell you, about 14, 15 years ago, I was asked to be on the board of a great organization called Enable of Georgia, now called In Community. And I sat down and I talked to them. They said, well, would you join our board? I said, well, tell me about your organization. They said, well, we help out children and adults who have disabilities. I said, I'll tell you what, I'll help you under one condition. You never use that word again. I said, why is that? I said, because they don't have disabilities, we do. Because if the world would see the life through those with special needs, it'd be a much, much better place to live. I want to be brief, but I want to tell you a couple quick stories. A really close friend of ours, Heidi Moore, and her son Jacob, who has Down syndrome and autism. About 12 years ago, on top of all that, got leukemia. Now, Heidi has lived her life helping everyone else navigate all of these programs, whether it be public or private. My wife, Carrie, in one of the trips down to Children's Healthcare Atlanta to bring food and spend some time with them, we're helping out Jacob and Heidi. Other nurses from Children's Healthcare Atlanta came in who had their own children with special needs, who were asking Heidi's advice. She stopped and took time away from her son, who has Down syndrome, autism, and leukemia, to help these other families. If that's not a hero, I don't know who is. And there are so many stories like that. And then back about 6, 7 years ago, in my office down at the Capitol, I got a knock on a door from a nice young lady. Her name is Anna Bullard. She knocked on the door, she says, I want you, John Albers, to sponsor a law that helped my daughter called Ava. And what we eventually did is put something together called Ava's Law, which allows children with autism to get the services they need at a young age. You see, Ava, at 4 years old, couldn't walk, couldn't talk, and wasn't potty trained. Now, she got the highest scores in her school on the end of course test and was the homecoming queen. So these things happen when we're all willing to work together. Now look, I know there's a lot of good causes out there, and I know many of us are involved in one. But I will tell you what, this cause, Special Needs Respite, you are going to make such a meaningful impact to not just, obviously, the children, but those families, those heroes who are doing that every day. Now you can be really generous tonight. You can go bid early and you can bid often. Or you can just go on the website and pull your credit card out and make a donation. Because together, we can make a real difference in people's lives. You know what? It just doesn't get any better than that. So Stacy, thank you, God bless you, and I appreciate you having me tonight.
Thank you, Senator Albers.